We're here in Kuwait at the International Energy Forum's 13th ministerial meeting, and I'm joined now by the Secretary General of the International Energy Forum, Mr. Aldo Flores-Quiroga. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, tell me why this is such an important meeting, and indeed, what's the relevance of this meeting at this time?
This meeting is very important because we have many energy challenges, many energy developments that are crucial to the energy security of countries all over the world. And that's why we have 125 delegations participating in a very interesting debate that covers basically all the diversity of energy issues that matter to countries around the world.
Now, you had a major meeting in Mexico just 2 years ago. What has happened since then?
In Mexico, the member countries that participated in the event, the ministers, agreed that it was important to strengthen the IEF, to strengthen the dialogue so that it could provide better results. That agreement was reflected in the Cancun Ministerial Declaration, which opened the space for negotiations to create a new charter. And this charter was approved, adopted, and signed in Riyadh just over a year ago.
Tell us a little bit more about the Joint Organizational Oil Data Initiative. This, of course, involves a lot of your partners, indeed. How has that developed in recent years? And indeed, tell us a little bit about its relevancy, perhaps.
The Joint Organizations Data Initiative is a crucial component of the collaboration between producers and consumers under the framework of the IEF, and it involves other organizations as well. That's therefore its name. We count with the cooperation of OPEC, of the IEA, of APEC, of OLADE, of UN Statistics, of the Energy Information Administration of the United States, of Eurostat, and all these organizations work together to improve market transparency. At the core of the work of the IEF is an effort to provide better information so that decision makers count with the best elements to plan policy, to decide on investments, and to overall make a better energy strategy for their countries.
And just who is using this data at the moment? And it's 10 years old, this now. How has it evolved over the last few years?
It is now 10 years old. It has evolved very successfully. It has started with an effort on oil, and more countries are now presenting information on oil production, consumption, stocks, and basically fundamental information on how the oil market is physically stocked. And the users of this information include industry, the companies, national companies, international companies, investment firms, analysts, anyone that really is interested and constantly analyzing trends in energy markets.
Well, of course, the producers have always had a dialogue and a forum under OPEC, and the consumers very much too under the International Energy Agency. What's so special about the IEF in the sense that both of these organizations, of course, are here with you and partnering, but who else is represented at this meeting?
What makes the IEF special is precisely that it is broader, and it's much broad than most other forums of this nature are. We not only have OPEC members or IEA members, we have the BRICS, we have countries all over Africa, of Latin America, a whole set of various members with different levels of income, different priorities, different interests, and that's what makes also the IEF very interesting, because it is very representative of the geographical diversity, but also of the energy challenges that the world faces.
And I suppose a lot of people are looking at the emerging markets, whereby this is probably a forum too where they'll have a voice.
Indeed, the BRICS participated, like I said. Other important emerging markets participate at the IEF. Emerging markets are now driving the world economy and also the world energy market by extension. So what they have to say is very important, and we're very happy to count them in the context of this dialogue.
Now, we're still seeing a lot of volatility in the markets. Are you engaging with the wider community, the financial community, and perhaps maybe trying to do something to help understand what's going on out there in the world of speculation, because it will probably be with us for a while?
Volatility will be with us probably forever. Market prices oscillate in basically every goods market that you can imagine. Commodity markets volatility has been at the center of many an observer's effort in the last years. So what we're doing with volatility is to cooperate more closely with the IEA and with OPEC to understand the drivers of the interaction between physical and financial markets, to understand how energy outlooks are made. We're also working with them, like I said, in the context of Jody. So that way we have a better idea of what is the process of price formation and what is the type of information that will help to reduce uncertainty and thereby tame volatility. We are, like I said, volatility is an ongoing characteristic of markets. We are concerned not with volatility, but with very high volatility.
And of course, it's that level of volatility too that prevents investment, and that uncertainty is what worries investors. How important is it that there's continued and indeed increased investment in the oil industry?
It is very important. Volatility, to the degree that it is better understood, will help to make long-term planning. The oil industry, the energy industry in general, is one in which the planning horizons are really long. So we need better conditions to make sure, and by these conditions I mean from policy to regulation to overall stability, to make sure that companies have the environment and the tools to make the investments that will meet the growing energy demand that we expect to see as more economies start to grow faster and join the high-income countries in their patterns of consumption.